Hi there, this is Dawn Priolat, and I am your love coach. I help women who are very smart and very capable to stop taking the crumbs in their relationships. So, for today, I have for you, this is the Love Tarot reading for the Earth signs. So that's going to be Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. This is my second time around doing this because I've tried to upload the live video to YouTube and go figure, it didn't work. First time I did it, it worked fine for the air signs, but it didn't work. So anyway, I'm going to try this again. And so this will be for the general energies for the rest of this month and into about the 10th of September. So I'm going to start right away with Capricorn. In the near past, Capricorn, you have the Empress in the reverse. Gosh, I hope you guys can hear this okay, because we do have some traffic. So the Empress in reverse. Normally when she is upright, this is a very sultry, sexy lady. Now this could be you, Capricorn, or it could be your wife or your, whoever your significant other is. And when it's coming up in the reverse, they're telling me it could also, for some of you, this could mean a lost pregnancy. I'm sorry to hear that. For some of you. Obviously this is not for everybody, but it could be a pregnancy that did not work out. You see in the picture, she almost looks pregnant. She could be pregnant. Anyway, she's a woman who's very fertile. However, this could also be referring to the general energies of a man, since this is a general reading. And by the way, you should be considering as well your rising sign and your moon sign, as well as your Venus, if you know what those are. So check those if this reading makes no sense to you at all, okay? So this is in your near past. So when this comes up in the reverse, referring to a relationship, what I tend to think of is that this person who's normally kind of hot and horny and, seductive is not feeling it, okay? Like whatever's going on in the relationship, they're not feeling it. So, and the card that came up in the present kind of confirms that. It's the Seven of Wands. This is, it could be a bit of a conflict, or it could be just that you're kind of building on something. You're in the process of building or rebuilding, I'm hearing. Rebuilding for those of you who are married. And then for the final card, for the future card, the Six of Pentacles is kind of a good card as the outcome, because this is showing that there is balance. You see the scales here? There is balance coming back into the relationship. There is a give and take. So that's not and two cards came out, so I kind of took them both. I got the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So normally if the Ten of Swords, the good thing about it being a 10 is that it means that this is the end of a cycle. So whatever's going on, it's like 10 is like the final card here. This is the end. The fact that it came up in the reverse, I would say that, yeah, it is the end, and you're feeling a lot of relief, especially because it came up with this card, which is more about balance. So if you've been having marital problems, issues in your relationship, it looks like in the very near future, in the energies of this month going into September, that is going to be starting to clear up. You're going to start getting ideas and inspiration. Some of you, you may actually get some of those ideas and inspirations through, I don't know, a church, a religious organization. Some of you may be going to counseling or going to seminars and other things to help improve your relationship, but you're going to get some ideas and inspirations how to change what's going on within your relationship. So there you have it. That is for you, Capricorn. Oh, and I wanted to mention too while I'm at it, and I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the angel cards for Virgos. I want to mention that, again, that there is, Mercury is going retrograde in the sign of Virgo. And that is going to happen, I believe it's going retrograde on the 21st of August. What that means, basically, if you're entering into any kind of contracts, please try to do so before the 21st, just to make sure that there's no problems, misunderstandings. There just tends to be a lot of miscommunications when Mercury is going in reverse, because Mercury is the planet that has to do with communications, written communication, spoken. So certainly any kind of contracts, really try to avoid. I actually have to sign a contract this month, and luckily I'm going to be doing it like tomorrow. So, but just be careful with that. Read the fine print. And Mercury will go direct again, I believe September 5th. So it will be a good time, however, to work on, go back and finish off any projects that you started. And since it's in the sign of Virgo, this is really good in terms of working on details and paying a lot of attention to details, because Virgos are really sticklers for details and being organized. So I'm going to go ahead and pick your angel card for this month, Virgo. Ooh, romance for Virgos. That's cool. Okay. So okay, so, well, for the Virgos, the first card that I pulled for you is the Chariot. Now, being that this card came up, see, this is in the near past. The Chariot, when I see this card, usually has to do with some fast movement. I don't know if some of you are moving because of your relationship that you're involved in, a romance. Because in the present we have here, again, we have the Six of Swords. And Six of Swords, as you can see in the picture, now this could have to do with an emotional change, an emotional movement. You see, they're actually traveling into calmer waters. The water's a little bit rough over here. There's calmer waters over here. So a lot of times this just denotes that you are moving into calmer waters metaphorically, and insofar as your emotions in your relationship. But with this card, because this often has to do with travel and fast movement, the two of these together, I would say that for some of you, you may be traveling long distance, and this may have something to do with a romance. Could be a relatively new romance, something, you know, maybe a year old or so. And your final card for Virgos, you have the Six of Staves, but it came up in reverse. So to me, this is an, whoops, let's get over here. This is an excellent card, Virgos, for you. This is victory here. But it came up in the reverse. So what I want to say about that, remember I just got done saying that Mercury is in retrograde, and it's in the sign of Virgo, and so I would just say that your victory may be delayed. And that's what Mercury does when it's in retrograde. It tends to kind of delay things, or messages get a little screwed up. There are misunderstandings. So, but this is always a good card, in the reverse or straight up. I would rather see it straight up, but it's fine even though it's in the reverse. And of course, your angel card is romance. So I'm going to say, for you, Virgo, you've got some romance going on. And for some of you, you're actually going to be moving, maybe to meet the person that you've been communicating with, or, you know, who knows, for some of you, you may actually be taking the next step in a commitment, in a committed relationship with this person. So, wow, kudos. Good for Virgos. So Taurus, you're up next. So Taurus, for going into the month of September, let's see what the energies are for you. I'm going to go ahead and pick your angel card. Your other cards I've already pulled. Amistad, friendship for Taurus. Okay, good card. It's good. So, because this is a relationship reading, Ace of Wands, this was in the near past. And the word I get with this, because it came up in the reverse, is it's a false start. See, aces have to do with new beginnings. Oftentimes they have to do with something creative, like perhaps your work. Since it came up in the reverse, I want to say that it was like a false start. And again, you know, with Mercury about to go retrograde, that also could be affecting you now, even though it's not quite retrograde yet. The energy is still, you know, we're moving in that direction. So, this is the thing about being outside. I made the mistake of putting lavender essential oil on, and some of these bugs think I'm a flower or something. Anyway, so Taurus, this is where you're at now. Okay, Nine of Swords. This is like what I call like the insomnia card, nightmare card. This is somebody who's been losing a lot of sleep, stressing out. And since this is a relationship reading, I want to say it's about a relationship. But the good thing is that this has come out in the reverse. This card you want to see come up in the reverse, because this means that presently some of that stress is being alleviated. Last card. This is the near future, the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor, when it's upright, this is somebody who's very disciplined, can be a little rigid, but when he's like this in the reverse, he tends to be very controlling, could be controlling in a bad way. We have some examples of that in our government right now. Anyway, I don't need to mention any names, you know. So anyhow, this being in your very near future, Taurus, this may refer to you and the fact that maybe you need to lighten up on being too controlling. Or the actual reverse of this could be true, because sometimes, you know, there may be somebody else in your life, maybe at your work, or just somebody else in your life, a family member who is being very controlling or using control in a negative way. Could even be your partner that's kind of using control in a not so good way. And that is coming up for the future. But I want to, let me pull, I want to pull another card, if I can find them, and see if I can get some more information about that last card. Okay, so I pulled this to clarify, and it's the Five of Staves in reverse. Wow, this card is really dirty. Anyway, I've had these cards for almost 20 years. So when the card comes up right like this, there's some arguing, there's some discussion, arguing. But the fact that it came up like this in the reverse, I want to say for Taurus that somebody in your life does not want to fight, does not want to argue. Maybe they're avoiding an argument, and it may come across to you as being very controlling, like maybe they're just being silent, and but it's not really meant that way. They want to avoid an argument. Maybe this is somebody who grew up in a situation where they couldn't express their needs or express their feelings without it ending up in an argument or without being severely punished for it. Okay? So not everything is always what it seems. Even the person who is coming across in a very kind of controlling way, be it kind of passive aggressive, like they just won't talk to you, just know that underneath that there's some wounding going on, and it's not always what it seems. It's not that they're a bad person, it's that for them it may be too scary to go there. Okay? And so for Taurus, this is what the angels, this is kind of an advice card for Taurus. Friendship. You know, it may be that this relationship that is maybe it's having a false start. Maybe you thought that things were going to go a certain way, and they didn't. But there is the opportunity for a friendship here, no matter what happens. You know, take that opportunity to at least have a friendship with this person. Because maybe you're not in a place right now where the two of you are actually able to have a committed romantic kind of relationship, and maybe a friendship is really all that you're capable of having right now. And the angels want you to consider that. Let me pull one more card for that too. Serenity. So, count your blessings, accept a friendship, you know, because it should really be that way anyhow. Even if, you know, for those of you that are dating, you know, I always tell women to date at least 3 men, because you never know. You could have another friendship develop, even if it doesn't work out, because let's face it, you only want one guy, right? Most of the dates you go out on, they're not going to lead to a soulmate relationship, okay? But they may very well lead to a lasting friendship for some of them. And in any case, you certainly can learn a lot. But serenity. So this is a really good card. So when you find that inner serenity, no matter what you do, it's going to help this relationship, whether the two of you stay together or just decide to remain friends. No matter what you choose, you can be at peace with this. Oh, okay, so that is it for the earth signs. I'm going to do a little bit of tapping because, I don't know, it just occurred to me today with everything that's going on politically, and, you know, if you watch the TV all day, it's enough to drive you crazy, because they're just so sensationalizing this little bickering that we have going on between two leaders. And, you know, this is why I choose to, I'm really passionate about relationships between men and women, because I really believe that the reason why our prisons are filled is because children are coming out of most of these relationships. And when women make really poor choices in relationships and they bring someone into the home who is basically a terrorist or someone who wields power in a very, very negative way, like a Hitler, like a Saddam Hussein, like a Trump. Okay, I said it. Please don't shoot me, but, you know, I said it. But when women do that, because they're settling for the crumbs, because they don't know how to take care of themselves, their children suffer. And not only that, if you have little boys, you're setting them up to grow up as very angry men. And they will go on to either end up in prison, or they will go on to end up possibly being the President of the United States and making problems all over the world. Or a Saddam Hussein, or, you know, someone like Hitler. I can't believe I'm saying it, but, you know, this is how I feel, and I'm just being real. But so what I wanted to do some tapping on today is because of all the things that's going on, and we think maybe, you know, that it doesn't affect us, but come on, impending war should affect you. If you're not feeling stressed on some level, you know, it's usually an unconscious thing, if not conscious. So let's just start tapping. Because if everyone would tap on this, oh, my bracelet is making noise. Let me take that off. Because with the media doing what it's doing and promoting this and talking about it all freaking day long, anytime you turn on that TV, you're going to hear it. I've heard it all day, every day. I just don't want to hear it anymore. You can't help but feel stressed. And that's not good for any relationship. So, even though, and just keep in mind that my words may be a little bit over the top, and you may think, oh, I don't really feel that stressed about it. But trust me, there's more stress going on in the background than what you're aware of. Your unconscious mind is probably way more stressed about it than what you know. Even though I'm really worried, and I'm probably speaking for most of the planet, most of the people on this planet, I'm really worried about what's going to happen in the United States. I'm really worried about the threat of an impending war. And even though it does seem obvious, it may seem obvious that one side, it's not actually going to be a war, it's going to be a massacre. And while it may seem like that should make me feel calm and reassured and everything should be fine, somehow it does not. Because the fact is, I don't want war. I don't think anybody in this country wants war. And even though I am stressed out about this, I don't want to hear it. It hurts me to hear it. It hurts me to think about the millions of lives that could be lost because of two grown men who are acting like children, who both have nuclear bombs. And I love and accept myself, even though I'm really afraid of what's going to happen. I choose to know that there is a power greater than me that can intervene. And I choose to know that by my being calm and my letting go of my fear and my worry, and instead sending love to these two leaders in whatever way I can, might be able to help the situation. And my worry certainly will not. In fact, it only adds to the problem. So I'm willing to let that go. Even though I'm really worried about what's going to happen. Because war is never good for anybody. And so many people are going to die for no reason, for no good reason. And this is my fear. And I love and accept myself even though I am terrified that there could be a war. If not with North Korea, it's going to start up somewhere else. So I choose to let go of my fear and my worry so that I can actually help the situation by being conscious, by being aware, and by being the love that I came here to this planet to be. Because I cannot help the situation if I become a part of the problem by being as fearful as the two leaders that are currently fighting. The only antidote to fear is love, and I choose to be that now. So let's tap through the points. I choose to be the love in this situation. I choose to let go of fear. I choose to know that I am safe and loved no matter what happens. I choose to feel safe. I choose to feel how safe I am in this present moment and focus my attention on that. I know that whatever I focus upon expands. So I want to focus on serenity right now. That's what I want to focus all of my attention on. I want to focus my attention on the fact that right now there is peace. Because I want that to expand. I will not give in to the fear. I will turn off the TV. I will leave the room. I do not need to get a minute-by-minute report on what the current argument is, who said what. I don't need to know all of that. It's too much information, and all it's doing is stirring up fear. Not only in the United States, but in Korea as well, North Korea and South Korea, and in the entire world. And there is no good that can come from that. There is such a thing as too much information. And I trust in my own inner guidance to help me to be aware of whatever I need to be aware of in order to keep myself safe. And I trust my inner guidance to let me know if and when there is something that I need to do in order to affect the situation in a positive way. And I will then do what I'm guided to do and say what I'm guided to say. I choose to let go of the fear, and I choose to be the energy of love. And I choose to send that out to both of those leaders, because I know on some level they will feel it. And take a deep breath and release. So, thank you for watching this video, whether you're watching now or in the future. Remember, it's all the same. There's only one time, and that's right now. And I hope that you will do this tapping with me now or anytime, because I believe that really the more people who come back to a feeling of peace, who are focusing on peace, the more likely we're going to be able to keep the peace. I really do believe that. So thank you for participating in that with me. Again, my name is Dawn Priolette, and I am a relationship coach. I help women to stop taking the crumbs in relationships, and including their relationship with money. And I've got more coming up about the money part very soon. So until my next video, bye-bye.